The room, come on in the room. Bucks lose it tonight, blown out on the road, 144-118 to the San Antonio Spurs. First time Giannis has lost to Wemby. Just don't have enough tonight. Don't have enough. Can't get it done. 144-118 is the score. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. Right side of the gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. It's the Cream City Crossover Group Trans Dirt.
JT.
Justin.
Oh, there we go. That's all I was waiting on. Tonight, man, just didn't have enough. 144-118. Get at me in the chat. Talk to me there on the YouTube. Talk to me on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. Man, I don't have a lot. I mean, 1-3 road trip. This is upsetting tonight. I mean, this is upsetting tonight. I'm just looking. The Milwaukee Bucks, 35 points in the first, 36 points in the second, 30 points in the third, 17.4. But you lose this game in the third quarter because you give up 45 points to San Antonio Spurs. And I've been saying it over and over again. Offense is not the problem with this team. If you put up 35, 38, you put up 30 points every single quarter, and the fourth quarter got out of hand, but you put up 30 points in 3 straight quarters, you should be in prime position to win a basketball game. Instead, you're down 15. That's a problem. This team cannot guard. And at some point, JT, at some point, Justin, you have got to sit down, get in a defensive stance, and guard. You cannot win in the playoffs. You cannot win in this league if you refuse to sit down and guard. And these guys we got out here, from A to Z, list them all down the line, they refuse to guard. And it's a problem. I know Brook Lopez is a problem. A lot of problems tonight that we'll get into. But let's first do a game recap before we get into these problems. Giannis, 35, 14, and 6. And 1 block for him tonight, 34 minutes, did all he could do, 2 turnovers, and was about to slap Chris Paul upside the head. Let me tell you, I'm tired of him too. I'm tired of Chris Paul too. Because this is the thing. That's why somebody sent me a message. It was like, well, Chris Paul, Chris Paul, that's the play. That's the play that got Giannis upset. No. This has happened since 2021. This has been going on since he pushed him in the finals on the alley-oop, right? So this ain't just about one play. And I'm sure I'm sick of Chris Paul. That's why he will retire ringless. He will never get a ring. I don't want to call him a bum. He's not a bum. But as far as rings go, bum. Never got one. Didn't get one in college. Not good enough. Only thing you got to show for your NBA, got no MVPs, nothing. Only thing he got to show for his career is the bowl in the middle of his head. That's it. That's all he got. It's done. 13 points tonight. Torian Prince, 5 boards, 3 assists. Brook Lopez, 6 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 1 block. Horrible night for Brook Lopez. Terrible. Andre Jackson Jr. started off strong, 7 points, 4 boards. Dame, 22 and 7. Quiet, 22 and 7 though. I need loud 22 and 7 from Dame. It was too quiet from Damian Lillard tonight. He's got to shoot the ball more. AJ Green looked like a guy coming back from injury, so I give him a pass tonight, 0 points. Chris Middleton shot the ball extremely well. Good to see. I don't know. Maybe every other night Chris Middleton comes to play. 21 points, 4 boards tonight. Gary Trent Jr., 2 points. Not good enough. Ryan Rollins, not good enough tonight. Pat Connaughton looks solid. 8 points for him, 2 boards. On the other side, Stephen Castle for the Spurs, 20. I mean, the numbers are outrageous for San Antonio. 20 and 8. Harrison, you getting Harrison Barnes put up 16 and 6. Wembanyama, 30 and 14, 6 blocks. Devin Vassell, 12 points. Chris Paul, sorry ass, 12 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Go ahead and retire, man. Kellen Johnson, 24 points. Jeremy Sohan, 2 points, 7 boards. Again, he had a host of other Spurs in doing what they could do. 144-118 was the final. I said a little bit already. I won't keep going with I really don't have a lot tonight. You got to guard, man. Like, you have to guard. Offense is not a problem. And again, this is going to get back to Today's 31st, right? Y'all know what happens in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 days. You got 6 days left. John Horton, you have got. I'm going to preface by saying you've got to make a trade, and I don't care if you don't win a championship. It is what it is. And I've said it before, and some pushback, and I've thought about it. Maybe it's a little too harsh. I'm reiterating: this basketball team is not good enough to win a championship as currently constructed. They are not good enough. I don't know, even if you get some trades, whether they can be. I really don't know. I really don't know if they're going to be able to get it done. I couldn't tell you. I don't think it matters what you bring in. I don't. And that, because that's the thing. It was like, well, it's Brook Lopez or it's Chris Middleton or it's Bobby Portis. That's how it ain't just one guy. They gave up straight line drives to the basket when Brook was on the court, when Brook was off the court. They gave up open threes, Brook on the court, Brook off the court. There are a lot of defensive problems with this basketball team. I know they were top 10 defense for a minute here and there. They are old and slow, and if a team wants to run them up the court, then Milwaukee, they have, and that's why I think if you remember, and I'll let you go, JT, after this. If you recall what Doc Rivers came in and tried to do immediately, and I know why he did it. It makes sense now. When he took over for Dr. Griffin, was try to slow this thing down. They cannot run up and down the court. You would think with Giannis transition buckets and all, you would think that would make sense for a Giannis team. This team cannot do it. And again, I don't want to say offense is a problem because again, you scored 30 points in each of the 3 quarters. The Bucks cannot handle or sustain that type of. You're seeing 2 games in a row now. The Bucks cannot handle that type of pace up and down the floor, especially against young athletic teams. They cannot do it. And tonight proved it. 144-118. I was disgusted by a lot of this tonight, man. The refusal to guard. I don't have a lot, man. Them boys ain't want to play. I don't want to. I don't too much want to do the show tonight. You don't want to sit down and take a moment to guard. I'm sitting there yelling at the TV. Kids waking up, wife waking up, because I'm like, damn it, go guard somebody. Sit down. Move your feet. They won't do it, man. That's what I saw, JT. What you see?
This tonight was classic LA Fitness basketball. It's guys just running up and down the court, scoring, and nobody playing defense. Nobody getting back at all. I agree with you. A couple things I did like tonight because there's going to be a whole lot of bad. You know what I like? I like the way Andre Jackson Jr. started this game. What he had, like 5 points in the first 5 minutes. You know what? Andre Jackson was on his Denzel. He said, I'm leaving here with something. I'm leaving here with something tonight. And that's the type of energy we're going to need. Look, you guys know, I don't expect a lot from him offense, but you got to give us something. And he did that in the beginning, too. So I'm going to go ahead and give that man some kudos, right? Another thing I'm going to give, Pat Connaughton. You know what, Pat Connaughton? You look a little bit better tonight than you have in a while. I'm going to give you that, right? Let me give you that credit. Giannis came out swinging. Giannis did his thing. I mean, again, we collectively yawn when Giannis has 35, 24. It's like, Giannis is doing Giannis things. But you know what, tonight? I'm going to give this man some credit because we have been on his head for a while. But Chris Middleton came out here and absolutely was balling tonight. Now, some people are disappointed because Chris can't move defensively. Personally, I don't care because that's not what I expect him to do. What I expect Chris to do is be that mid-range sniper. What I expect Chris to do is hit his open threes. When I said, hey, look, tonight 8 for 9, I'm absolutely loving it, right? And I think it was 8 for 8 in the first half. I mean, Chris Middleton, you know what? Hey, man, if that's what you got in you, cool. Now, I say all that to say that, unfortunately, we're in a situation where our needs just exceed our wants. It is what it is. I want to keep Chris Middleton here. We need to. We most likely we're going to have to move on from it. We need to move because, like you said, John Horst has got to make a move here. This is not. I mean, you guys saw Brook Lopez tonight. This whole time we were talking about Bobby and his defense being the problem. We were talking about this all season. Bobby and his defense being the problem. I don't know what happened to Brook Lopez tonight. I don't know if he didn't stretch. I don't know if you know how some players get the heating pads. If you got a back injury, they might give you a heating pad before the game. I don't know if they didn't have any hot water to soak that heating pad in. I don't know. I don't know if there was no ice and stem there. But Brook Lopez looked 45 out there. He looked 45 out there. Brook Lopez looked like he couldn't even be the guy going free throw line to free throw line or 3-point line to 3-point line. He looked, and I'm just going to chalk this up as it's a road trip. And, guys ain't sleeping in I understand that they're not sleeping in their own beds. I kind of get it here. it just was absolutely abysmal. Nothing short of terrible. And Brook Lopez might be cooked. I think he's 36 at this point. Is that about right?
Yeah,
Brook Lopez,
yeah.
30, is he 36? 30? Yeah, look at me. Oh man, we are in rough shape. And I agree with you defensively. We're just we don't have it. But again, how mad can I get at this team if you just don't have you just don't have the ability to do so? We're old and slow, and we talked about this, and you see it with these young. We just can't keep up. We can't stick. It is what it is. Look, and Dame. I thought Dame came to compete in that first half. I really did. He was like 4 for 9. He was, made some plays, like you said. It was a quiet 22 points. That second half is what fell apart for Dame. Finishes the game, 6 for 17, right? He was 4 for 9 in that first half. So, that ain't really great. But you know what? Here's the last thing. Taurean Prince tonight was 5 for 14. And the first question I have is, when the hell is Taurean Prince shooting 14 shots? What? Y'all realize his highest in the last 10 games is 8 shots. Why is Taurean Prince shooting 4? That's not what we need you to do, big fella. Hang on. That's not what we need you to do. But yeah, I agree with you, Trey. It's just a lack of effort on defense, a lack of want to. Nobody wanted the Giannis did. Giannis wanted. Nobody else wanted to do anything on defense. You're letting guys blow by you. They blowing by you on the perimeter. They blowing by you in the paint. You're just getting blown everywhere. Yeah, all right, you can pause me, man. Yeah, I'm gonna let Justin go.
Oh, I do want to first before Justin goes. William Arrange with the super chat. Third super chat on the live stream for William Arrange. Want to shout to him. He says, I hate how Giannis is the only one who shows passion for this team. Bobby Portis' presence has been missed. Listen, I'm not even gonna sit here. I'm not even gonna deny that something has been missing. And yeah, you want to put it on Bobby Porter, you can go there. I'm not even gonna sit there and deny that. I don't think that's terrible at all. And then before you go, Justin, Matthew Adlard with the super chat says this team is cooked. Defense absolutely disgusting. So 2 excellent comments to start this thing off. Appreciate the super chats. And yeah, no, that's what we're getting at. Giannis is one of the only ones who shows passion. Maybe Bobby Portis' presence has been missed. And then the defense, as we've been talking about since we started the show, absolutely it was nasty work. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Justin.
Nah, man, hey man, I'm so upset, man. I'm trying to keep my voice low and stuff. I done had a grandson running around the house saying everything he ain't supposed to say tonight. Hey, so first of all, before we get into Doc, I want to welcome back the Tyrese Halliburton of our chat. Coach RJ, welcome back. We had a terrible game and you're back. You front running bum ass shit. I'm mad. Oh, I'm pissed. Hey, y'all want to hear what Doc said?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It don't matter what Doc said tonight. I'm so pissed off. He talking about Brooke tired. They look terrible. Shit, we seen that too. I'm so pissed off right now. Hey, pass me some of that, whatever you got, Trey. I'm so mad. Listen, let me start off with Chris Paul. Chris Paul, you see this? You ain't never getting one of these, homie. And you need to get the hairline I got, homie. Because it ain't it, dog. You look terrible out here. You a bum. You a hoe. You disrespect Winston-Salem. Look, hey, in the words of the great philosopher Lil Wayne, Chris Paul, you a hoe. You a hoe, dog. Straight up. Like that. I'm tired of this whole shit he be doing. Like you said, Trey, he pushed Giannis in the back. Pat Beverly done got on Stephen A. Smith, told you the dude can't guard.
Say it was a cone. Say it's a cone.
And he sure can't. Like, there was no need to push that dude. You up by 20 million points, and you gonna push this dude. For what? What? Yep. And hold on. Let me get my notes real quick. I'm breaking clipboards on the screen. Oh, I'm just mad, dog. I'm about to take my shirt off and do this in the beater, JT. I'm so pissed off right now. Like, we losing to the San Antonio Spurs. They got in a substitute teacher as a head coach, and he cooked the ball. He ain't cooked Doc Rivers, because I think Doc drew up plays tonight. He had guys ready. We ain't blaming no coach. Them dudes ain't hooped tonight. Hey, our starting 5, Giannis minus 13, Dame minus 16, TP minus 15, Ajax minus 22, and Brook Lopez minus 19. You ain't winning no basketball game with that. These dudes ain't hooping, man. I go to the Boys and Girls Club on Sherman Boulevard, and I will get 5 dudes to come out there with more heart than what they show. And listen, Giannis, you are not away from this criticism tonight. Yeah, you had 35. You put the ball in the bucket. Guard somebody. You letting these goofy dudes with blue hair dunk the ball. If fake ass Dennis Rodman, I'm so pissed, man. But I want to address one thing with the Wisconsin kid, man, because your homie on Twitter, Trey. Let me throw these notes on the ground before I get kicked out of my crib tonight, man. I got an early flight to LA in the morning. I'm so pissed off, JT. Like, I'm just rambling and stuff, man. But he asked me, do I think this team can win the championship? The way it's constructed. Let me loosen this up, look. I absolutely do think they can win the championship. And the reason why I'm going to say that, because all y'all dudes in that chat, and even some of my co-host brothers, y'all talk about Bobby, these fake-ass rebounds. Hey, we missed that dude in Super Chat, my guy. You're absolutely right. Hey, we got to hoop, man. Like, we can't be getting cooked by the San Antonio Spurs and the Portland Trailblazers like this. If we going to get cooked by these dudes, we can't. We got to come back healthy. We got to hoop. Hey, but you know what? Last thing I'm going to say, man, I know I'm rambling too much, man. I'm so sorry, man. My lawyer brothers, man, I know y'all about to hit the gavel on me. Giannis, my guy, hey, darn near my savior from my city. You got the 414 on your back. If you believed in tattoos, he'd have it tattooed on him. Don't tell that dude meet him after the game. I'll pay the fine. I don't even know how much it is. I probably don't even got it, but I'll borrow from Trey or JT. Punch that dude in his mouth. Knock the hairline off his head. I don't care how long you get suspended to. Somebody got to hit him other than Pat Beverly, man. How long we going to let this dude keep doing this shit, man? I'm sorry. I ain't going to curse no more. I know my daddy and my kids watch. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm mad. I'm real mad.
Listen, I think, all of that is, it's warranted because this was a frustrating basketball game. Like it really was. And besides the Chris Paul stuff, it was just frustrating because and JT, you got on it before we started and said we didn't learn it. You didn't learn anything that you didn't already know about this team. And again, it's some of the same stuff rears its ugly head where and that's what I keep getting to. It is multiple guys. Like it ain't like you say you weren't gonna absolve Giannis from criticism, and I agree with you. It's multiple guys. And I don't know. Again, I even hear you with the Bobby Porter, but Bobby's not stopping none of this. And again, there's 6 days left for the deadline. You have to make moves. You have to make moves. There's just no way around it. There's no way around it when you go and watch this kind of stuff. And again, do I think this team is bad by interest? No, I don't. And I get it. We talked about it. It's the dog days of the NBA season where you have to, where you're trying to get to the All-Star. You're not good enough. You are fighting to keep this thing, maybe if you're the 2 seed, you got to keep fighting, man. And too many times, this road trip was bad. This was a bad look for Milwaukee Bucks basketball. And I agree with you, Justin. This is not an indictment on Doc Rivers. Now, and again, I talk about he coached with his hand behind his back all the time. Even you mentioned Ajax, JT. Ajax starts the game off. He does score 5 points. Why did he get 5 points to start the game off? Wemby's not guarding him. Why did Wemby get the first 2 blocks on Giannis? Talk about the substitute teacher. He said, "Hey, let's put Wemby on Ajax. You ain't even got to play defense on him." So he did make a couple cuts early in the game and got himself to the basket. But they're playing 4-on-5 they're playing 4-on-5 when he's out there. Like there's no way around that. So again, you all those things are problems. Again, I thought AJ Green I thought that he just didn't look right to me today. But there's two. I'll tell you this, and then you go, JT. There's 2 issues with the Bucks defense. They either allow shots all over the floor and threes, late straight line drives, whatever. Or when they do start to play defense, they cannot stop themselves from fouling. So they cannot, again, they cannot sit down and actually guard. And you've got to be able to do that. If you can't, and that why you think they sit in zone all day long? Doc knows they can't guard. And I saw people say, well, Doc Rivers, he put them in zone. They hit 23s where you sitting in zone. You think they're going to sit down and play man-to-man defense? They won't. Fast break points, somebody in the Twitter sent it to me. Fast break points ridiculous. From the Spurs to the Bucks, this is a bad look for Milwaukee Bucks basketball. That's all I do know. It's a very bad look.
No, well, to your point about Andre Jackson Jr., that is true. You're 100% right about Ajax. But remember, we talked about this before. If they're not going to guard you, hey, put that thing in the hole. If you open, put that thing in the hole. That's what we need you to do. Take advantage of that, right? Like because we talked about how limited he is. And yeah, I agree with you. But this is what I don't understand about defense, right? Sometimes it looks like a lack of effort, and then, like you said, sometimes it looks like a lack of technique. I don't get it. I don't get it. And my only conclusion is we can't do it. We don't play defense because we can't. It's not that we don't want to. It's because we can't do it. And so we're asking this team to do something that they are not physically capable to do. And to all of us, that makes absolutely no sense because it's like, well, how can you not? Like, you got to just move your – like, what is this, right? At least effort. Trey, the problem is they might actually be trying out there. That's the issue. The issue is that they may actually be trying out there. You just don't have it at this point. So I agree with you. We have to make it. You've got to do something. And at this point, I'm venturing to say you got to do a couple things. One alone ain't going to get it. You got multiple needs at this point.
Well, let me just ask you this though. So the Bucks, I believe in the past, and I'm sure somebody would mention this if they haven't already. In the past, I don't know, it was 10 games when the Bucks have gotten themselves into a top 10 defense, and I think over the past 10, 12 games or so, they were both a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. How is that happening when you look at this basketball team and how they guard and how they defend? Is it just that they're kind of hoping 3-point shots don't fall for the other team? Is it that I'm just trying to figure that part and that piece of it out because or is it that at times we can play good defense and there are gonna be some nights where we again almost like Christmas. You think Christmas comes out and one night 0 points, next night 15 points. One night 0 points, next night 20 points. One night can't score, one night hit every shot he takes. He ain't doing that on purpose. He wants to be consistent. Like you said, JT, maybe that's what this team is. That yes, there are nights where, got a good night's sleep tonight. Hey, I'm springing tonight. I get it. Like the heat and pads on. I got a couple blocks from me tonight, coach. I can sit down for a little second and guard tonight, coach. And then there gonna be some nights where, nah, plane ride. Ooh, man, now there's a couple bumps on the runway. Tonight's not the night. Tonight, is that what this team is?
Because they are that age. Yes, That's exactly what it is. It's because they are that age. Everybody in this chat is over 30 knows. Sometimes you wake up, perfect example, you go to the gym. Sometimes you wake up, go to the gym. You start getting under some weight. You're like, I feel great. I'm good. Other time you get under there, you get some weight, and you feel like, damn, I aged 10 years overnight, right? That's just kind of what it is. They're at that age at this point. They don't have the youth to do this. And again, this team, age, but like you said, we're in the dog days at this point. That's where you start. That's where it really starts showing up. When you start getting there around that All-Star break, when guys are tired, if you old, now you're really tired. And that's exactly what it is. It's not a skill thing. It's just more of they don't have it, right? They can't do this night in and night out. Some of that also, though, some of that is probably also scheduled matchups in there as well. You certainly have to account for that. And I do think this team can play in spots. They can play. They can lock in. But boy, when everybody's feeling old, it is palpable. It is 100% palpable. And I think somebody in the comments said it too. We are between Dame, Brooke, Trent, Pat. We're not a young squad here. We're just not. And I think that does show up once you get about 50 games into the season.
So I disagree. I disagree from the standpoint that I think this team can play good defense. We showed that when we had something to play for. And it wasn't just against the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was against the Orlando Magic, the Atlanta Hawks. Mm-hmm. So maybe they out here just loafing it because it's like, oh, this is just San Antonio, like y'all said earlier. I mean, Doc really, he really said San Antonio made everything tonight. I mean, I don't know. And then he just
there were a lot of open. I agree with that. Like the Wemby shot with the three. He
said it was over and back too.
I agree. I thought it was, but I'm just so you had a couple of those, but I saw a lot of wide open ones too, Justin.
But he said they're just so bad. Like that's what he said. They were just so bad. Yeah. That's why I took it out my ears when we were getting ready for the show. Cause I was like, man, I don't want to hear no more of this. Like we all know it was bad. They just kept making mistake after mistake. Can this team guard when something's on the line? I think they can, but I think this team is. Dog, I hate I'm about to say this. First of all, I God dang, William going crazy with them super chats. Let me get this point. I'm gonna let you go. Hey, I agree. Listen, and I don't want all y'all in the chat. I want all y'all in Twitter to hear me. I agree. We gotta trade somebody now. It is what it is now. Like, we can't keep getting these lax. If you can't beat the San Antonio Spurs, the only reason why I'm going to say that you can beat anybody else, because I'm a blind-ass Milwaukee Bucks fan. Yeah. And that's what I'm supposed to say. That's what I'm here for, to be a homer. But I lost my train of thought.
And there's nothing wrong. We got the resident homer in the building who's gonna always be positive no matter what. Nothing wrong at all with that. William Arrange. No, there's go ahead, get your thought off.
Sorry. This team is soft.
Yes.
This team is soft. Here's why we're soft. When we're missing a certain piece, whether it's a backup center like Bobby, or we're missing a Chris, or we're finding an excuse to lose basketball games before finding a will to win it. Bobby not being here is tremendous because it means more minutes on Giannis. And Giannis showed me these last few games against these mediocre five. Wemby's not a mediocre five, but the rest of the fives he played, mediocre. Zubac.
Yeah.
And they took him out the game, and I don't even know who he was playing against the Clippers. And old boy in Portland, none of them good enough. And old boy in Utah, Walker Kessler was out. So what are we talking about? Giannis can't play that five.
I'm not going to – no. Okay, so I would disagree with that. I do want to go to William Range Super Chat first, and he kind of agrees with you. Says, we don't have enough dogs on this team. Too many times other teams getting loose balls and offensive rebounds. Bobby would have socked CP3. I agree with that too, that you do need some dog because, Bobby's on that court. He's going to defend Giannis. I will agree with that piece of it. And again, maybe we kept talking about getting rid of Bobby. Maybe it's Brooke that you need. Like you said, we need something. Something's got to change. But you do need dogs. You do need, and again, it's the defensive-minded players that you're looking for. And again, you talk about dogs. That's why I know we keep saying, keep Jimmy far away from this team. This locker room, I don't give a damn about it. Maybe the chemistry needs to be broken up. Cause like when you say, oh, we're bad, and we're okay. It's one of those nights, and it's kind of complacent. I need somebody that's gonna say, no, we're not complacent tonight. Not when I'm on the team. And so if you need something different to shake things up, to make people think twice, maybe say, oh, damn, Jimmy here. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at this point. I really don't.
Nah, because Jimmy take the Southwest flight to the game. We can't have that. Right?
If he's gonna do that and go get a loose ball, I'd rather him do that than have everybody on the team playing and don't do it.
He was bored in Group B. Nah, bro, we're not doing this. We can't do this. We're not gonna do this with Jimmy. I can't go there because again, Jimmy's showing his ass too much. But I agree with you from a mentality, from an attitude, from a toughness perspective. But one question that I have for both of you guys, the fact that when guys are out and guys don't step up, or the fact that we have nights out where we just sometimes look like, inept on one side of the ball, and it looks like a lack of effort issue, even though there's a limited skill set there too. Who does that fall on? Because you could say that falls on Doc, but does some of that fall on that locker room and the players? Like, hey, y'all ain't got nobody in there getting nobody, laying in anybody. Y'all don't got nobody in there really, hey, there's no competition to fire up anybody to get in there and say, hey, you need to be the one out there making plays. Hey, this is your night to shine. I don't know. That to me has been very interesting because you haven't really seen a lot of that. You haven't seen guys say, hey, it's like both of y'all. I know both of y'all went to black churches, especially in the South. I bet one of y'all had air conditioning in that church. The other one of y'all didn't. But, I was going to go ahead. It's a 50-50 proposition because y'all know how that go. But, man, it's like guys who are in that choir and, hey, this your song, this your solo, right? Because everybody in the choir just periodically sing and everybody in the choir swear they nice. They swear they need to be that guy. Why don't we have anybody who's like, hey, this is my night. Oh, hey, I got the solo. I'm about to make this thing go. Don't.
The guy that does that that's Bobby, who thinks is his solo every night. That is his. I feel like that is like one of his roles. We call it black because we're like, hey, it really shouldn't be. But a lot of nights
Bobby grabbing the mic too. Right. That's kind of the thing, though, right? Bobby sometimes be honest. I'm gonna let you finish, but type energy too.
Yeah. No, to answer your question though, this is what I'll say real quick. To answer your question, I don't think Doc Rivers. I don't think it's a coach's job at the NBA level to motivate guys. That's not, to me, you make it $30 million, $20 million, $15 million, whatever you make, you should be able to motivate yourself to go to the gym and be ready to play on a night-to-night basis. So I don't really put that on Doc Rivers. I really do think that's a player issue to me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Trey. Like, I mean, and I hate to try to reckon this as something else, but when you got Joe Plummer going to work with COVID, whatever illness he has, and he's still out there changing them dirty pipes and making sure that your toilet flush so that you can, whatever it is, like, hey, man, you paid to hoop, go hoop. I do agree with you. I do believe that Bobby's the dude that gets kicked out the Temptations. But you know, without that dude, we don't beat them Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn that time, man. So I'm okay with it. I thought we had a guy step up tonight. Middleton went 8 for 9. But then it goes back to what Trey and what you were talking about, JT, earlier. We ain't guard nobody. And I don't know, man. Andre Jackson Jr. and Giannis can't be the only ones playing defense. I get it. Dame isn't the best defender in the world, but he's shown better effort than what he's shown tonight. Hey, if Brook is getting old, and we know that, he got to play better, or he got to start getting on a minutes restriction, and we got to start alternating, because we not playing for just the NBA Cup. We playing for that Larry O'Brien too. We playing for them things Chris Paul wish he could have. Who he gonna sign with next to try to get one? You gonna be Gary Payton at the end of your career on the bench somewhere, coming off at Jay Will or something, trying to get one at the end? Because no one wanted you when you're in your 20s and your 30s because you weren't good enough, and you was a coach killer because you killed.
Hey, and quiet. Well, not even quiet as kept. They trying to get rid of him again. You heard that the Spurs are trying to get De'Aaron Fox now. So ain't like everybody. They send that bold haircut ass out to Sacramento and go play with Doug Christie and them boys. Yeah, you think it's sweet? It ain't. Your days are done.
California don't want Chris out there. His brother, Cliff Paul, pulled the insurance out of Cali. They don't want Chris out there. He got man. I don't know where Chris Paul goes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in a place like Washington or something, where it's just like you go somewhere where nobody really cares what the outcome is. Because Chris Paul, I think Chris Paul with his diminished skill set and his absolute nonsense. I mean, you would think this guy would be a role model for the young guys. Absolutely not. I feel like he's kind of in the way. And Chris Paul is still doing goofy shit like he was doing tonight too, with these just bogus, dirty plays. I mean, at some point that act just wears thin. And I know Pat Bev caught a lot of criticism because he wore out his welcome everywhere. But Chris Paul's been able to do this, and it's kind of flown under the radar. And Chris Paul has been underachieving, underwhelming half the time, causes a lot of issues, and Chris Paul still think he's an all-NBA player.
That's the issue.
It's crazy.
And the thing about, and I hear you on Pat Bev, at least Pat Bev can move them feet, get into you and play some defense, man. This dude ain't guarding his prime. Hey, Trey, who did you call a baby back bitch the other night? When that Filipowski?
Yeah, Filipowski. Yeah, Kyle Filipowski. Yeah.
Chris Paul is cousin.
Is that buddy who was getting down with the he's in the Mormon cult?
Yeah, he was getting groomed.
He's
getting groomed. Yeah.
Like his girl was a lot older than him.
Yeah, she was grooming him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Getting groomed by his girl, getting groomed by Giannis, all the grooming. Yeah, he was getting groomed.
Do we have any idea what's going on with Bobby? Like, what these personal issues are? Like,
no.
I mean, obviously, well wishes to him and stuff like that. But
it's been tight knit. I haven't found anything credible. I haven't found a single thing credible as to what's going on with Bobby.
Yeah, the Bucks have been pretty mum about it. You could always assume. I'm not even going to assume anything. I'll just say, no clue. It's personal, family matter type of issue. And Doc really doesn't have any answers. They ask him about it every game. He tells them he doesn't know when he's going to rejoin the team. So again, thoughts and prayers out to Bobby Portis. Do want to get on some of the chat though. ND says, please unload on Brook. This whole team is old and slow. Cannot compete with teams if they have even a shred of speed and athleticism. Josh Davis says, we're missing Bobby the last few games, but this team just quit when the Spurs got up 17 in the third. Iron Man Clan TV says, absolutely abysmal performance. Io says, Chris is unimpactful right now. Levine plays better off ball.
Who?
What?
Who unimpactful?
Chris Middleton. He said Chris Middleton's his performance was unimpactful tonight. And what's crazy? I don't want to sound, because I know people say I don't want to sound like a Chris Middleton, hater. I'm not gonna say it was unimpactful. I'm going to say I would have preferred somebody guarding. But again, it wasn't just him, so I'm not singling him out. But the points were there. you got to guard, and you really need somebody to guard. But I don't know if I want to go as far as say they were unimpactful. I'm not even gonna read Coach RJ's stuff. Just doesn't make any sense. Talking about the offense wasn't the problem tonight. The offense wasn't the problem at all.
He a Sixers fan. He don't know how to watch ball.
Yeah, I know. Didn't they lose tonight again? Did Embiid play against Denver again? No, he didn't want to play against Joker. Oh, okay.
Embiid went to bed like Coach RJ did already. Good night, Coach RJ.
Right.
Yeah. Iron Man Clan's got a really good point though. Iron Man Clan said sooner or later Horst needs to sit down with Giannis and ask him what he really wants because he's not winning with this core anymore. That is kind of true.
No, well, yeah, it's 100% true when you're trying to figure out what you need to do. And yeah, this loyalty stuff's got to end. I mean, Brooke. I mean, yeah, you have to figure out some things. Young City says last 2 games, Dame's defense has been bad. I'll agree with that too. I want to get to the game for a second. No, we haven't really gotten to anything on the agenda, but Giannis versus Wemby tonight. Always must see TV. I thought those two. I thought it was incredible tonight between those two because they look like they really they went to bat. Like they look like sometimes you see stars and they don't always want to go at each other. Wemby and Giannis almost sought each other out tonight, and it was like I don't care. I know about Giannis is almost like I know about you. You're that young guy. You coming up, but this is my show. Wemby, on the other hand, zero fear, doesn't back down. Says, "Hey, you're a former MVP. I want to get there. Maybe Wemby wins Defensive Player of the Year this year. Who knows? First year All-Star. Wemby is saying, "Hey, you have been the leading vote getter in the All-Star game the last 2 years in a row. I'm coming up. It's my turn now." That's kind of how you look like he feels about this thing. And they went at each other over and over again. Wemby had blocks. Giannis dunked over him. Giannis had fadeaways and step backs. Wemby came right back throwing one-leg three-pointers. It was a really fun matchup. And it was unfortunate that Adam Silver, instead of going on TV and talking about changing the NBA from 12 to 10-minute quarters, it was a shame this game wasn't on national TV. Well, I guess I don't know. The Denver game, I guess it was 3. So maybe I was wrong that I'm not my mic off. But maybe I was wrong because that game was actually closer and the Bucks ended up getting blown out. But needless to say, I thought Wemby versus Giannis was fun. At least their individual matchups and battles. And it's gonna be fun for years to come. Just if you could a little bit on Wemby and Giannis and what you see comparisons between those guys.
Yeah, one thing I'll say that I kind of like though is I agree with that. You see 2 superstars trying to go at each other. You see This is what people pay their money to see. When people buy tickets and they want to see their favorite players play, you want to see these guys going at each other's throats. And I just love fighting it out, right? How about that? Right? You want to see 2 guys doing that too. And you watch both of these guys, the intensity. I think this is what's missing in today's NBA game. You talk about ratings and stuff being down. Well, yeah, half the time your stars aren't playing; they're not even there. And then when they are there, they're not matching up with who you want to see. They're out there. I think this is like that classic, that '90s basketball that all these bitter old podcasters talk about too. And I love to see this matchup. I agree with you. I think Giannis shows Wemby that, hey, there's levels to this, big fella. There are levels to this, and you're not quite there yet. You're not quite there yet with Giannis, but I thought both of those guys made plays, and I thought it was very entertaining to watch. I think Wemby is going to be very good. I don't know. I mean, he's already very good now, but I think Wemby is going to, he's probably a few years out from just being like arguably the best at his position in the league. But I love the energy behind it. I 100% do. Sorry that we lost our first one to Wemby because I like thinking, hey man, we kind of own Spurs, But yeah, more of this. More of this is what you need. And I think maybe the ratings do change if you really do start putting pressure on teams to hey, get your superstars out here. Like, hey, you got to play. You got to play. Put on a show for people. Like Justin said earlier, Joe the plumber. Was it Joe the plumber or was it Jose the plumber?
Them two.
Or was it Jerron the plumber?
All 3 of them.
All three of y'all, right? They come out, they work every single day. They perform whatever services it is, and there's no gripes, there's no issues about it. They don't just slack off and I'm not feeling it today. I'm not gonna fix these pipes today. I'm gonna kick it, right? Like so. Why are NBA players doing this too? Y'all are not that damn special to where I need rest. I'm sore tonight. I just need don't get me started on this rant. You know I think NBA players are inherently soft. All of them.
I'm gonna say that.
They are.
I'm gonna say, hey man, hey JT, you can't have no more low management, dog. Like, cause when I be mad, you make me laugh, and then I don't be mad for a minute, then I'll be right back though. Cause like I'm still mad. And here's why I'm mad, man. Because I feel like those San Antonio Spurs, everybody with the exception of bitch Paul, is a good player with a lot of effort and a lot of stuff, man. Like, I hate that dude, man. Like, Trey, you need to tell your mom to tell Chris Paul get that Winston-Salem State degree back because he don't even deserve to be CIAA, dog. Send that boy to the NAIA where he belongs. Send that boy to Virginia Lynchburg. That's where he should have got his degree from. He don't belong with us in the CIAA.
When did Chris Paul got his degree?
Yeah, he went. Yeah, because he remember he came out early from Wake
Forest. Oh, and he finished up at Winston-Salem State.
I think that's right, didn't he? Or did he get his degree at Wake and then got a master's degree? So
the only thing I paid attention
to undergrad.
Oh, he got his undergrad. Okay.
The other thing I paid attention to Chris Paul when it comes to off the field issues, or when it comes to off the court endeavors of Chris Paul, the only thing I know is that he went to Wake Forest. He had a Jordan sponsorship, and he caught a nasty stray from Kanye about 2 years ago. When Kanye was on this stuff on Twitter when he talked about how he allegedly found him in bed with Kanye's wife. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, man, Chris Paul. That's the only thing I know. He was on the banana boat too, right?
Was Chris on the banana boat?
Yeah, he definitely was on the banana boat.
Had to be.
Because it was Chris, him, LeBron, and Wade. And Melo was in the background, like I didn't get on that.
Yeah, Melo wasn't on that. Yeah, okay.
Nah, Melo wasn't on that.
Nah, but for real, the Spurs got a lot of young talent, man. Wemby is obviously going to be one of the better ones, but I need more from Giannis, man. I need more for Giannis on that defensive end, man. Get in front of that dude, shut that dude down. I know it's easier said than done. I know I'm not 7 feet tall, but Giannis, you're the best man walking this earth with a basketball, period. Like, and if you're not going to shut him down, you got to go for 60 every time you see him. Like, look, when Mike saw Kobe, Mike made sure Kobe know this is still my league. And I felt like Giannis did a lot of that stuff. And I know the supporting cast. Listen, a lot of this stuff is supporting cast stuff too, right?
100%.
Gary Trent was 0 for a million from three-point range tonight. And Gary Trent's a much better shooter than that. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him some grace, man. We got to bring him back to the South, JT. We got to start giving people some grace, man. Can't cuss them out the whole night. Torian Prince, 14 shots. Yeah, I'm going to give you some grace too, man. Because wasn't nobody else putting that thing in the hole but Giannis. So, pause. You got to put it in the hole too. But San Antonio, it's not just Wemby. All them young guys together, minus Chris Paul, they got a bright future there. And this kid that filling in for Pop, I think despite everything, he's doing a pretty good job. But, hey, Giannis, you got to take this league over, man. Like, I hope that Chris Paul and this stuff encourages Giannis and his Bucks team to put this chip on our shoulder. We used to talk about it, and I know Wisconsin kid talked about he watched Rodgers for years, and that kind of – at some point, Rodgers put a chip on his shoulder, and he beat everybody. And he didn't get to the championship every time, but he beat everybody. So, Giannis, I need you to put that chip on your shoulder. I don't think anybody on this roster is bad. I think A.J. Green struggled tonight. We talked about Gary Trent Jr. These dudes on the supporting cast, when you open, you got to make a shot. That's the difference between us winning or not. San Antonio made the shots. But, hey, man, lastly, man, I'm going to say it again. Chris Paul, you not CIAA, you not like us, dog.
It was just again just an incredibly frustrating night. But you know where it's never frustrating at?
Curly's.
Y'all know it. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head out there, enjoy yourself, have some fun. Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lake Pewaukee out there. Get on out there, enjoy some wings, enjoy some good food, enjoy some drinks. Let the good times roll out there. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head out there Sunday night, because Sunday night the Bucks play the Memphis Grizzlies, and you know what's happening on Sunday night?
$3 pints and all that
$3 bottles and pints. It's going to be a televised game against the Memphis Grizzlies. And then, of course, you head out there on Wednesdays and Thursdays. You know what they're doing?
bingo and trivia.
Yes, sir. And if you do well at bingo and trivia, what are you getting?
Free Bucks tickets.
Anybody know what section, row, and seats?
Section 122.
Oh, no, not
JT,
I'm messing up every time.
JT seats. JT seats.
Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. That's where it is. 102, not 122. But they're great seats nonetheless. Get out there, enjoy yourself at Curtis Waterford Sports Bar. Pow! Sponsor of the Cream City crossover.
Curly should be light on some beer, on some pints and some brews tonight, man. Like you said earlier, that should have been $3 beers tonight, man. What we doing? I don't care what Joker did. He's not even athletic.
Taylor Thompson says.
You were talking about the way Trey just said, proud sponsor. Trey went full on pastor on us.
That's what they are. Taylor Thompson says the Bucks are the most bipolar team in the NBA this season. I have no idea how this is going to play out, trades or no trades. I think that your last sentence there, I agree. I have no idea how it's going to play out. I just don't. Trade, like you said, trades or no trades, I have no clue how it's going to play out. And he's 100% right. This is a bipolar basketball. This is a team you don't know what you're going to get. The only person I really know I'm going to get something from is Giannis. That's the guy I know exactly what he's going to do every single night. And to the same extent, Dame. I kind of know generally what Dame's going to do on a night-to-night basis. Chris, 0 points, 20 points. 0 points, 15 points. 15, 5, and 5. I have no clue what Chris Miller's going to do. Gary Trent Jr., great shooting one night. Bad shooting. No idea what he's going to do. Brook Lopez, going to look like a spring chicken one night. Going to look like he just rolled out the bed another night. No idea what he's going to do. Bobby hasn't been there in for a minute. Ryan Rollins has been up and down. Pat Collins, like I said, has played a little bit better. I don't know. Is the team gonna try to guard? Gonna play some defense? Maybe are gonna be nice when they shoot the ball well. Maybe they're gonna try to rub it down the floor with you. That is a problem, and it goes back to: are you starting to lack identity again? And you thought maybe the Bucks would start to find some of their identity. And to me, with the type of team that you have, your identity is you gotta play physical, but you have to slow this thing down. And you got to get yourself to the end of the games where Giannis and Dame. And to your point, Justin, you made a point that the Bucks defense, they play well when they want to play well, again, or when they have something to play for. I think that's what you said. And end of games, you start to see that because I think the Bucks, again, in the clutch are a very good offensive and defensive team. But the best teams to me, when you talk about those Heat teams with LeBron, when you talk about, just regular teams in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks, for whatever reason, have a hard time. I think that the tide started to change when Wemby hit that three. Because the game was still close at that point. But I think the Spurs came out the second half, I don't know, like 4 or 6 from 3, whatever it was. And you have to know, and I understand where you're going when you say, okay, well, they'll play defense in the games that matter when they have something to play for. But you also have to play defense because I don't mind too much how you defend throughout the course of a full game. But I do care when the rope starts to let go. Do you at that like that? That's my thing. You have to have this, I don't want to call it situational awareness, basketball IQ, whatever. And it's still the Bucks again just didn't have it throughout the game. But once the off year, because I think what made it there is, okay, well, we're shooting the ball well, we're scoring. You got to have the mental fortitude not to give up 45 in the third. Like, okay, you might have an off night defensively. You can't give up 144. Like, when do you at some point, you have to have some pride and show some pride on the defensive side about it. That was my problem tonight. Not so much that you let a bunch of stuff go, because again, you're going to do that at times in the regular season and point times in the game. But when the game starts to go away, you have to be able to flip the switch. And that's what scares me most about this team is they don't have that. I think it's truly how do you start off? What is the game going to look like versus we have the ability to turn it on and really ratchet up the pressure when we want to. I don't know if they have that. And again, that's where he goes to in the next 6 days. John Horst has to make moves. And I don't know what they're going to be. And I keep saying, on the surface, they do not have to look like, in my opinion, they don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a trade where, I'm just making an instance, if it's Bobby, you don't have to get equal value back for Bobby. If it's Chris, you don't have to get equal value back for Chris. If it's Brooke, you don't have to get equal value back for Brooke. What you have to get is an athlete who can run, who they're like you said, who every day, JT, when they get up out the bed, there's not going to be a crook in their neck because hey, you're just young enough to that doesn't affect me. I'm not 35. I'm going to wake up with the same energy and play with the same level of energy every single night. I'd almost rather that and live with some of the results because, again, I think I know what I'm going to get from Dame and Giannis every single night. I need a third guy to give me something, and then I feel like I can find the rest of those points. And if it's just Giannis and Dame alternating shots the rest of the game, I'm cool with that. I want guys that can guard, get to every loose ball, do the dirty work things. Somebody else will step up. But again, with Giannis and Dame, I think you're in a good spot. You got to get guys that can come in and really fit and play some defense.
I agree with that 100%. Whatever it is that third guy is, he doesn't need to be able to give it to you consistently. And there's a number of guys out there. I mean, I know you guys have talked a little bit about trade candidates as well, but I think there's a number of guys out there that we could potentially go after. The question that I do have now, and maybe I'll start paying attention a little closer to the rumor mill. But the question I have now is, again, are we moving one piece from our core, which I would say, Chris Middleton, arguably, or are we moving two pieces? Do we move Chris Middleton and Bobby? But after tonight, I'm kind of wondering, what is the market for Brook?
Right.
What's the market for Brook? Because this ain't gonna work. This is just not gonna work. And Brook is an absolute liability at this point. I mean, again, I don't want to overreact because what I saw tonight was absolutely awful. But this isn't the first time we've seen Brook Lopez look 35 with a bad back. And it certainly isn't going to be the last time we see Brook Lopez look 35 with a bad back. Having said that, what we don't need is Brook Lopez to be 30. He's 36. Man, I got to get it together. What we don't need is Brook Lopez to be 36 with a bad back in the playoffs, or 36 with feet that can't move in the playoffs when it means something. That's my concern with Brook. Is, like you said, Trey, like you said, Justin, the goal is to win a ship. And at this point, I think we can get out the first round. I do. I'm confident we can get out the first round. I don't know about the second.
And the thing that you bring up with Brook, if he's moving his feet bad, if he's making shots, at least you could kind of, I'm not saying look past it, but you could kind of, hey, man, well, at least Brook hit 5 threes tonight, so kept us in the game. And yeah, he gave up a couple dunks, but 3 is more than 2, so we're in good shape. When he's clanking them threes and he's holding the ball and he's, here we go, new one coined on the show tonight, Black Hole Brook. We got Black Hole Bobby. So it's Black Hole Brook if he's shooting shots and they ain't going in, right? But I want to take one quick pause because Taylor Thompson, hey, man, I know you said his last sentence, Trey. That whole thing on point, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we ain't bipolar, I don't know what bipolar is, man. We ain't just bipolar. We unmedicated bipolar trying to treat it with that, never mind. Because we ain't supposed to happy place hemp yet.
Yeah, and I totally disagree with Anthony Lacey saying that Chris, Bobby, Brook, and Pat have little to no trade value. That's just totally untrue. And again, I want to make the point here when we talk about trades, everything is matchup dependent. Everything depends on what you need and what you're looking for a team. So again, for a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, old, slow, can't defend, Bobby Portis may not help in that regard because he's a ISO back down player who can hit the three, but who's really just looking to score and not play much defense. If you and as a 6 man, if you put him on a team that has defense, that has that's younger, has those athletic, it's not as much. It's not that much of an issue to be the odd man out defensively. So it's all about what your team actually needs. Bobby Portis can be a huge fit on a team that doesn't need additional defense. Same with even Chris Middleton. Again, his contract value is a little high, but Chris Middleton on a team that doesn't need him to sit down, who you could put on a less than ideal player on the other side. It's not as big a deal. The issue with the Bucks is we don't have enough wings. You'd have to put Chris on an actual good wing. And so you're trying to operate as if he's your third best player. Same thing with a Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez I think he can at times defend the rim pretty well, but gone are days where you can just give him straight line drives and he's going to block everybody's shot. Like if you have legit defenders that are there that will sit down and guard, that won't give up straight line drives to the basket, that allow him to play against the big and not have to play Stephon Castle. And if you can, and he's more of a luxury than a guy that has to play every single minute. You're talking about a different guy. So again, that's what I'm that's what we're getting at. It depends. It's very team dependent on what makes sense. And then Anthony says, who in their right mind would take Chris with a $30 million player option? Again, go back to like the Miami Heat, who are trying to get off of Jimmy, who have a $50 million guy who don't want to be with them. Like, yes, I mean, I'm not saying they would just take Chris, but I'm just saying that's a team that is a Chris Middleton option. I think people just get in this mindset. They're like, oh, you can't do anything because you have this guy. Dude, Russell Westbrook was a $50 million guy who, like people thought, who was at the tail of his career, is actually playing pretty well in Denver right now, who people thought, oh, untradeable. He was traded. John Wall, they thought his contract, untradeable. He was traded. So you can't give me this. That's a very small-minded idea of $30 million. Who's going to want? I think, again, there are teams out there that can make stuff happen. And again, maybe there's a team out there that has a guy. I'm looking at the Chicago Bulls. I'm just talking about in general, who has a guy who is making $30-40 million over the course of the next 5 years, who may say, you know what, $30 million for Chris Middleton over 2 years is not bad, and I can get rid of him quicker than having a guy for 5 years who I may not want. I just think you have to think about it a totally different way. I really do.
Well, my bad, JT. I'm in cut you, but it's all the economics of sports, man. And just because the fit isn't a square peg in a square hole here on the Milwaukee Bucks doesn't mean that. Let's not forget the Houston Rockets were willing to dump back the Brinks truck up for Brook Lopez. And guess what? You know who their 5 is now? It's Steven Adams. And you can't tell me Brook Lopez doesn't fit better with those young guys defending the ball and playing than Steven Adams. Because you know what Steven Adams doesn't have? He don't have a jump shot like Brook.
Sure.
So, but I think that, guys in our system, as Bucks fans who watch them every night, they may not have value. But when you're looking at them high-level execs, and my bad again, JT, but some of them guys see a lot of value. And Pat Connaughton, being a veteran leader who's played good minutes, who's played finals minutes, who's helped us win a semi-conference game against the Brooklyn Nets, he may have value for a young team trying to get there, like a Memphis Grizzly team or a Detroit Piston, to come in there and, hey, we ain't at that playoff push yet, but we want to get over that hump. Bring in Pat. Let him coach some guys up because he's seen it. Sorry, JT.
No. You're 100% right. I was going to say, perfect example is Drew Holiday. Perfect example, he's in Boston getting $30 million plus. Drew Holiday's job, be the fourth. I need you to play defense on one of the players, and I need you to be the fourth option. That's it. On offense. That's all I need you to do. That's all I need you to do, right? On other teams, you may need him to be one of your top 2 options, your top 2 or 3 options. And, we saw how that goes in the playoffs with him. But at this point, it's perfect fit. He's the fourth option. Now, his salary, that's a lot of money to pay for your fourth option, $30 million plus. But, that's a problem that they're going to have eventually. They're going to have to figure that out. But that scheme works perfectly for him.
That is a great point in response to Anthony Lacey there. 100%. It's not a fit. Drew wasn't a fit for the Bucks because of what you needed him to do. Chris Middleton, I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm just saying he may not be a fit if you need him to be your third option. But if there's a team out here who's like, you know what, Chris, you could be our 5th best player, and yeah, we may pay. But again, who isn't going to pay more? Who wouldn't pay more for a championship? And are they overpaying right now for Drew Holiday? Absolutely. He's not worth his contract right now. But is it worth it if you win the title? 1,000% it is. 1,000%.
Half the dudes in Boston ain't worth their contract.
Right. So,
hey, for IO, we can't trade. Y'all brothers, correct me if I'm wrong, but Nick Claxton's contract is non-tradable this year. You can't trade it because of whatever he signed, the Supermax or whatever he's locked in at Brooklyn. Am I wrong?
I have to look more into that. Well, of course, we'll have our cap expert in on Monday night. Danny Levin will be here on February the 3rd, talking all things trades, and letting you know what the Bucks can and can't do, what other teams around the league can and can't do. I'm very interested. Again, we're getting down to the wire. If I was to make a prediction on if I was to make a prediction, if something doesn't happen by the weekend, by Sunday, teams are going to have to start, because I think, again, to facilitate a Jimmy Butler trade, there's only, I believe, 2 teams in the league who can do a Jimmy Butler trade in a 2-team deal with the Miami Heat. I believe that's Memphis, and I can't remember. Memphis can, and somebody else. It might be Golden State. Maybe not. I'm not. Don't quote me. There's only 2 teams in the league that can actually do a 1-to-1 trade for Jimmy Butler. Anybody else who would need to do that, I'm talking about within reason, anybody else who would be looking to do that, who's been interested in Jimmy Butler, would have to have a 4 or 5 team, much complicated trade to get done. So I said to say there hasn't been a lot of activity on the trade market because a lot of teams have been waiting to see what happens with Jimmy Butler, because you may want to get in on that trade. You may want to help facilitate that. And so I think that, but you can't wait forever. And so I do think that by, it's Friday, I don't know, Sunday, Monday, at some point, teams are going to have to start making deals and trying to get things done for themselves and stop waiting on the Jimmy Butler sweepstakes. But again, I think every day that it goes by, it less value that Miami gets. O2 Annoy says Bucks are cooked. Giannis is going to leave. Yeah, I've heard that before. Heard it before. Yeah, you must be a fan of some sorry ass team that wishes Giannis was there. I don't know who you're a fan of, but let us know who you're a fan of, and I'm sure they probably a 2-pack of ass. Let's go to Twitter real quick before we get to game ball.
Hey,
see what Twitter's talking about. Go ahead.
I just
Well,
it's a lot of trade stuff going on. I don't know if y'all brothers saw it. DeJounte Murray just got hurt tonight, season-ending Achilles injury.
Yep.
That's another guy. If I made a prediction and if I saw something, whatever it takes, I think the trade is Jeremy Grant, Rob Will. I said that a couple nights ago. I'd sign in on that. I feel like that gets us better.
Yeah. I'd love it. And
I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love it. And it's one of those things where, again, to me, we're at the point, and that's when people, even Bradley Beal or people are sticking their noses up at trades. And I'm telling you, I don't think this team can win right now. So I'm willing to look at something different. That's just me, though. I'm 100% willing to look at something different because, again, to me, you're not going to win. You're not going to win a championship regardless. So what is the harm in doing something else? And then Nick C says if we don't make a move, Giannis is gone next season. And again, and I'll say this on Giannis. Y'all know I'll defend Giannis to the death. If Giannis leaves based upon moves, I don't have a lot of I won't feel a lot of sympathy because the team did everything Giannis asked them to do. And that's why I really don't have a lot of sympathy for Giannis saying, oh, I didn't get the help. They did everything you asked for. So, again, they got coaches you wanted. They moved Drew. They were trying to be loyal to the people you wanted to be loyal to. The team has done everything that Giannis, like that I cannot. I know we talk now drafting wise. I think we've made some misses and we talk about that. But outside of draft, team has done everything that Giannis has asked for. Let's go to Twitter. At JR Horvath says, blow it up, keep 0 and 34. Everyone else can get the F off my team. Start Tyler Smith, Livingston, and Ajax. Take others' defensive talent even if they can't score. At Armin53 says, when we have zero positive production from role players, we lose. And that's been the case since the second half of the Clippers game. Lillard has been pretty useless when he's the number one and Giannis is on the bench, which never bodes well either. At Drew Barringer says, Bucks are in the middle of a 4-game losing streak, potentially with a brutal back-to-back against Memphis and OKC next, which, yeah, that's Sunday, Monday's going to be crazy. Any trades they make should be in service of making the team better next season and beyond. It's cooked this season. NYC Randy says, this team is not good. It really sucks how Giannis is going to retire with 1 ring. I'm sick and tired of this team having to deal with scrubs talking trash, and we be down 20 while they talking. When a team has this many holes, not a trade alive, fixing it. Blind faith from now on. Just do a couple more. At At Bucks Enjoyer 999 says we'll be fine. An easy 2-win back-to-back against Memphis and OKC. It's fine. We're fine. Okay, that's a joke. And then Cool Hand says Bucks desperately need another front court presence who's mobile, provides paint and rim protection, has solid basketball IQ, offers floor stretching on offense, and isn't a black hole with the ball. The goal is moving Bobby, Pat, and Marjan for whomever that player is and getting under the second apron. And then I'll finish it off with Derek Himes tweets in just the Milwaukee Bucks ring and says Giannis to that arrogant bitch Chris Paul. So that's so Twitter is not bad today. I think a lot of some interesting stuff from Twitter. Good stuff. Game balls tonight, fellas. Let's do some game balls. Who are you giving your game ball out to, JT? Who are you giving the ball to?
I go.
I'm giving the game ball to the guy sitting beside me.
What?
I ain't giving game ball to nobody. There you go.
Okay. Go ahead, Justin.
I could never finish. I gotta go for JT from now on. Dog. I can't hold this shit together no more, man. I'm gonna go everybody's most hated. Jump, Chris Middleton. Yo, JT, you a wild dude, yo.
I mean,
my other game. Let me split that joint in half. My other one go to JT for that one too.
Yeah,
I mean, like, look, right? Like, what am I giving game ball for? Piss poor performance, right? I'm gonna give a game ball, and I can go down the line and I can say, you were bad, you were awful, you were terrible, you were abysmal, you were bad. You were. I mean, what are we doing here? I'm not giving y'all a damn game ball. None of y'all get all three of y'all get on the bus. Take your chicken on and get on the bus.
When you ain't got nobody to give it to, can we give it to Herb Cole or Bob Uecker? Just give it to a Milwaukee legend.
Bob Uecker. I'm gonna give it to the OG Bob Uecker. Again, rest in peace to the voice of Milwaukee.
You getting the game ball from JT. Okay. Me, you got to win to get in. Victor Wembanyama, 13 and 14, 6 blocks. Heck of a game tonight from him. He was absolutely dominant, a +9 on the game. You can't say he set the tone to start the game with a couple blocks on Giannis. He had a quiet first quarter, then he picked it up, played well to end the first half. Third quarter came out swinging, and then put some exclamation points on this game as well. So I will give my game ball to Victor Wembanyama. Good stuff from him. Bucks lose it tonight, 144-118. Let's take a look around the rest of the league right now.
Guys, a question first.
Huh?
Guys, a question first.
Sure.
Sorry, because JT keep me laughing. I keep forgetting what I want to ask y'all, man. Hey, so I know Coach RJ brought it up, and he said something about where is Rajon Rondo, right? And I'm not gonna entertain that, but I think we need some strong consideration for Thanasis and Antetokounmpo. And I'm not talking about getting in this basketball game, but Trey, you mentioned it before. Get him a quarter zip and put him on there. Because I feel like when stuff gets tough, he knows what to say to kind of get not just Giannis going, but some of these other guys going too. So I want to know what do y'all brothers think about? We got to get Thanasis somewhere more involved for these bad games like this when stuff goes left, or am I completely off my rocker as an old man, and I'll take that too?
I don't have no problem with Giannis, with Thanasis being on the bench. He provides more passion and energy when he's sitting courtside than anybody that I've seen on the Milwaukee Bucks bench. So I'd totally, I'd be fine with that if they did it. I hope to see him courtside at the games. Again, he is a guy that brings that energy. One of the guys I'm talking about, again, he's not a great basketball player, but when you talk about dog mentality, that's what we talk about. Thanasis is an absolute dog, running around the floor and just being an energy piece that you like to see. He's one of those guys. You got Jeff Teague and them boys sitting on the bench and talking about how they think they're gonna lose. Thanasis ain't doing that.
No, I would like to see him around this team. And the thing is he still is probably very close to this team, has relationships with the majority of this roster as well. It can only be a positive for the Bucks if you bring, Thanasis into the fold from a coaching perspective or special advisor perspective, and you see him starting to travel and starting to have a presence with this team.
Yeah, I'm with it. Let's take a look around the NBA. 144-118. Spurs beat the Bucks tonight. Suns are up 102 to 86 right now over the Golden State Warriors. Warriors trying to get themselves back into this game. Only 9 minutes left in the fourth. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it. Pistons get back to even. 117-102 over the Mavericks. The Clippers beat the Hornets tonight. Bulls beat the Raptors. Nuggets 137-134 over the 76ers. I think Max had 42 points. The Celtics beat the Pelicans 118-116. Again, you talked about DeJounte Murray with torn Achilles in that game, so very tough injury for him. Man, I'm dog tired. It's been a hell of a week, work wise, just everything. So I don't have anything else. If you guys wanted to bring anything up on a look around type basis, feel free to whatever you guys want to get at.
They got you not stealing money anymore.
Nah,
huh?
I ain't still no money no more, man. I'm
Because it
tired.
works. They got you on man. Yes, sir. Same thing. You know what? I've had allergies for the last couple of days, so I could have sworn I was sick. I took everything. I said, man, give me the Mucinex, give me the nasal spray, give me everything. These allergies.
And that Flonase is crucial.
Bro, I just started taking cough drops. The hell with it. I don't even got a cough. You might as well. Just start. I mean, just pure desperation right now. I should probably get the neti pot, take a hot shower, let the steam run in your nose. But yeah, I don't know what this is. Is it changing weather, changing season? Not really sure. Also, man, I got a puppy.
Oh, got a rock.
Oh yeah. It's a Roddy puppy that she's super cool. She just they're dogs, so they go through this biting phase.
Right.
Like her teeth are breaking through, so she want to do that. So she wants to bite any and everything. Biting people calves, elbows, everything, chewing her bones, catching strays, biting people pants, so she I mean, we working through it, but
Yeah, my office still dog bit up my damn wall while I was gone one day. Yeah, man. She good now.
Sometimes I'm like, yo, they're man's best friend. They're great. But some of the dogs do some of the smartest stuff and they do some of the dumbest stuff ever. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you bite the damn wall? Right? It's like why would a dog chew on a bed frame? Like you can't figure out that's metal. Like you're not gonna win this battle. Why would you do that? I don't know.
Trust the process, like Coach RJ would tell you. You'll get through it. Hey, real quick. Only thing I got on the look around is I don't know if y'all saw it, but in this Suns and Warriors game, during one of the serious moments, I started crying, laughing during the show. I'm sorry, but KD was going back and forth with Gary Payton Senior, the first, whatever you want to call him, in the crowd.
Oh, really?
And GP was back to his old ways, and KD started cooking.
Oh, damn! I didn't see that. I forget his son still plays for the Warriors. So yeah, that's interesting. He courtside or something?
Yeah, he a couple rolls up, man. He ain't courtside. He said, "Hey, Guru sit closer to dude, man." And Bradley Beal having a decent game tonight too, man.
Hey, funny story. I will say, I was at All Star in LA. Was that 2018, 2017? Can't remember. Gary Payton was sitting behind me. That was funny. Gary Payton was one row behind me, acting a fool too. He was funny as hell.
Was he cool or was he?
He was cool. Just a very, very serious dude. I mean, he cussed every other word. Just normal conversation. Just every other word. F this, mother, F them, F that person. But he cool.
Well, you know my favorite though. Right? Because it sound like Gary Payton is gonna be in the Hall of Fame. My favorite is Vernon Maxwell though. Vernon Maxwell, man.
Vernon Cole.
Yeah.
Vernon old as hell, and Vernon might literally be playing like dominoes at the park. Vernon is like that dude. We talk about it off air, but Vernon Maxwell, golly. Like when you talk about can't take y'all nowhere, Vernon Maxwell is that dude. He is that friend. Y'all better warn everybody about Vernon.
Vernon might average 7 in the league right now, just because he that cold of a dog, man. We talked about the Bucks need a dog. We need a 2025 Vernon Maxwell dog. We get a Vernon Maxwell, we up.
Vernon Maxwell crazy.
Boy. Oh, that's bad. I'll be quiet. I'm about to talk. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
Hey, Vernon, what Chris Rock tell y'all about the two groups of people? What did Chris Rock tell y'all?
Right.
Vernon Maxwell is squarely in that other group. Like, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, there's no doubt about that.
My question for the Guru, when that dude was sitting the road behind him, did you make sure you told him how much we didn't appreciate his half a season in Milwaukee after you traded Shuttlesworth? Because we ain't want your bum ass there either.
Nah, I didn't say nothing about Gary Payton. You said he was in Milwaukee. Glove had a hole in it.
Gary Payton II was a much better buck than the other old dude.
Yeah. Nah, I didn't have any conversations like that with him. He was cool though. Good dude. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody want to get into? Any final words? 144, 118. Spurs beat the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm probably be out of pocket for the next couple, man. I'm gonna try to get on there Sunday, Monday. You know, I got this work trip in California, so time gonna be all different, man. And hey, man, I just hope by the time I come back from this work trip, we won about 4-5 in a row. JT ain't miss a show because we need JT. When JT come, business picks up.
I need by the time you're back, I need to be talking about whatever trade has gone down with the Bucks. That's what I need to be talking about.
That's what I wonder if we're gonna be able to do a special edition trade.
Oh yeah, we definitely do it. Like I said, hopefully something pop off by the time Danny Levin get on here Monday night. So again, we're 2 days away. We're 2 days away from Danny Levin, cap expert, front office expert. He will be here Monday, February the 3rd. Right, I say 2 days, yeah, because it's technically Saturday on the East Coast. So 2 days away if you're on the East Coast. Danny Levin will be here getting you up to speed. Get your questions ready for Danny. It'll be a fun episode. Justin, did you ever send off the picture to Tom?
Oh yeah, I sent it to the homie the other day, man.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, see if he got that, and when he gets it, and then we'll have him take a picture or something with it. Let people know Cream City crossover. Hell, they get a bargain.
I just want to let y'all boys know too, right? We're all about keeping the peace. It's January 31st. Valentine's Day is in roughly 15 days, or I guess 14 days now. Mm-hmm. February 1st for you at Trey. So there's a piece of advice to y'all. Right? Get paid the Friday before Valentine's Day. Order your gifts then. Don't be that dude, trying to got paid on trying to run around and get stuff at the last minute. Because again, I agree. Look, if you wait to the last minute, it only takes a minute. But boy, you are playing with fire at that point.
What you saying? You saying?
Say what?
So you saying don't Chris Paul Valentine's Day?
Nah, don't do that. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. You know what? Look, and I'm gonna tell you, like, women can tell when you wait to the last minute and your dinner reservations at 9:30. You're like, damn. What time we eat? Yeah, we got a table. It's 9:30. Like, yo, they turning the lights off in here. What we doing? Right? Like, yeah. Oh, you waited to the last minute. They already knew you was on Resi or whatever restaurant. Trying to book something at the last talk open table.
Open table.
Talking about open table, like, yeah, man, cool. Yeah, our reservation's at 10 o'clock p.m. Like, what? Everybody is over 30 years old. Ain't nobody trying to eat nothing at 10 p.m. It's all bad.
Hey, when you said that junk earlier about being over 30, sorry, I keep it going longer. That's why Trey hate me. I just keep it going. I hit golf balls the other day. Man, I've been sore for 2 days after hitting golf balls, man. I'm 42, man. So that over 30 stuff. Hey, look, Brooke. Hey, look, and JT, you said something about 30. Once you get over 35, it's all downhill for everybody. So I know Brooke's sore. Brooke's sore was from running up and down the court. So
right. He's damn near at that status where he got to ice. He got to ice when he get off the court. When he get off the court, like mid-game. Hey, wrap that back up. Yeah. Wrap your knees up. Yeah. Like, I mean, seriously, like, this is kind of what it is. And I mean, like, yeah, it just is what it is. And you feel bad for him. But again, like Trey said, What can players bring to the table, and what do you need? I mean, are we putting just so much stress on players whose bodies just don't have it at this point?
Yeah.
Are we demanding so much from players, from guys whose bodies just don't have it at this point? I look at that with Chris Middleton, where defensively, listen, like, I mean, you can't even get mad at him. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The ankle's just shot, right? Like, I mean, Chris Middleton is having surgery after surgery after surgery. What do y'all want? What do y'all want from this man, right? Like, look, he can still hit the mid-range for you. He can still sometimes, you know, but that's all he can do. All you can do, I can't be mad at you because you can't do what I knew you couldn't do, right? Like, I'm even mad at you for that.
Right.
That's a me. And there's too many guys on this team where that's the problem, where there's limitations here, and you're like, oh man, we need him to be doing that. Well, he can't. It's just not going to happen. Well, it's got to be honest, man. Start lying to yourself, and this is in all aspects of life. You start lying to yourself, you're in bad shape. Start lying to yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I don't be out there screaming at Chris. You know, he can't do it. He can't do it. And you know, but again, did shoot the ball well tonight. Give him credit there. And it'd be nice, where like I said, he hits the 3-ball. And if he was consistent doing that, I could probably live with it. The issue is you can't do both. You can't be inconsistent shooting the ball and consistently bad moving your feet, not moving your feet, and doing that type of thing on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, I think we're I think we're in a good spot here. 144-118 Spurs beat the Bucks tonight. Just not enough from your Milwaukee Bucks to get the win. Want to thank everybody for listening to us tonight. Joining us here on the YouTube, on the Twitter, having some fun, rocking out with us. Bucks came up short. 1-3 road trip. Got a back-to-back coming up Sunday and Monday. So it's gonna be interesting. And this is a tough back-to-back. This is one where if you split, you probably will be okay with it. It's Memphis and OKC. You got to get one. You have got to get one of these basketball games. If not, that's it's just gonna be a bad look for the Bucks. But again, appreciate you guys joining us. If you liked anything that you heard tonight, if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff to the Cream City Crossover, the best post-game Milwaukee Bucks show in all of the land. We did it with my guys, and I appreciate them as well. Want to thank our sponsor tonight, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Get out there to Curly's, enjoy yourself out in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, get some good foods. Tell them the Gurus, and just tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Yeah, man, that's it. 144-118 Spurs beat the Bucks tonight. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trick on Third.
JT.
Justin.
If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels. Only T's and Q's tomorrow. Courage.